Today I messed up big time. What started as a regular workday quickly turned into one of the most embarrassing moments of my career, all because of a single email. I work at a mid-sized company, where sending and receiving dozens of emails a day is the norm. I'm pretty good about keeping my work and personal emails separate, but today, my multitasking skills failed me spectacularly. It all began this morning when I got into the office, coffee in hand, ready to tackle my to-do list. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed because, on top of my regular workload, I've been dealing with some personal issues. I've been emailing back and forth with my best friend about a recent breakup, venting, sharing all the messy details, and honestly just unloading all the emotional baggage. You know how it goes: long rants, embarrassing confessions, and maybe a few choice words about my ex. So there I was, replying to work emails and chatting with my friend at the same time, trying to juggle both conversations. At some point, I was drafting a long, very personal email to my friend. I poured my heart out, describing how I was feeling, what I was going through, and I didn't hold back. I even mentioned some frustrations with work, complaining about the usual office politics, a few annoying coworkers, and some petty grievances that, in hindsight, I probably should have kept to myself. After finishing the email, I quickly hit send without giving it a second thought. It took me about 10 seconds to realize something was wrong when I got an automatic out-of-office reply from my boss. Confused, I looked at the sent email and my stomach dropped. Instead of sending it to my friend, I had somehow managed to send it to the entire company, every single person, from my boss to the intern who just started last week. Panic set in immediately. My mind went blank, and I just sat there, staring at my screen, hoping it was all just a nightmare. I frantically tried to recall the email, but it was too late. The damage was done. My heart was racing, and I started sweating as I imagined everyone reading my personal thoughts, my unfiltered opinions about work, and worst of all, my rants about the breakup. Within minutes, the replies started rolling in. At first it was a few reply all responses, mostly people making lighthearted jokes to ease the awkwardness, like "hang in there, we've all been there." Or "whoops, looks like someone needs a vacation." But then came the more serious replies. My boss asked to speak with me privately, and a few coworkers I had complained about directly in the email were clearly not amused. I felt like I wanted to disappear. I immediately apologized to everyone, explaining it was an accidental send, and that the email was meant for a friend. I owned up to it, but the embarrassment didn't just go away. I spent the rest of the day trying to avoid eye contact with everyone and hoping that the incident would blow over quickly. Now I'm sitting at my desk, dreading my meeting with my boss later today, wondering how much damage control I'll need to do. I can't stop replaying it in my head, wishing I could take it all back. I've definitely learned my lesson about double-checking email recipients before hitting send. So yeah, today I really screwed up, and now my entire company knows more about my personal life than I ever intended. Moral of the story? Always check the recipient line before you send an email, especially if it's personal.